company. Fergus Falls Monument is built on local care and local trust. Families throughout the region rely on us for thoughtful guidance and quality craftsmanship. From design choices to final details, we help make the process simple and comforting. For guidance and design options, visit foreverstonememorials.com.
Memorials that matter. Fergus Falls Monument. Memorials that matter.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Brought to you by Pioneer Care, Fergus Falls Monument, and Larson Insurance Fergus Falls. Now here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Tuesday morning. It is 11 after 9. Hoping everybody's having a nice, cool start to your day.
It was so nice this morning. It was 54 degrees when we went for our walk, and oh my gosh, did that feel good? Yes.
I walked out just wearing a thin T-shirt, and I was like,
"Ooh, gotta go back for
do
a
I
jacket."
need something? Or I'm like, you know what? I sit in an air-controlled booth all day, so I'm just gonna go with it.
Gut it out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I have actually pants, short pants, but. And a long sleeve on today, and it feels pretty darn good. I had the air on in my car.
Oh.
But I always turn the air up. It takes the humidity out, and then I had my heated seat on. So I don't know if you're supposed to do those two things together, but I always do.
I was driving my mom's vehicle the other day. She's got a Jeep, and hers has like the ventilated seats during those hot days.
Mine do too.
I turned that on. I'm just like, oh, that's. I don't know how to feel about this. This is nice.
Really? I don't like the cooled seat at all.
Well, when it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, I never used that. I don't know why. I don't know.
She's got a black interior,
Mine
so
is black
everything
too.
gets really hot.
It does get awfully hot. In fact, there were days that it was hard to touch the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know people love those cooled seats. I don't know why I don't. I never use mine.
I just drove it for a short while, but it was kind of nice to have that little cooling effect.
I guess I probably should have tried that during all that hot weather, but the AC cools it down pretty quick.
For me though, the MVP is the heated seats.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah. And I still laugh at myself. I remember the first time I drove a vehicle that had, when I heard that there was a heated steering wheel, I thought, oh my gosh.
I hate that.
How ridiculous. You do?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
My current Jeep it automatically turns on. And
I just love it.
If I've got my gloves on, I'm okay with it. But for some reason, when I'm driving, I can't have a hat on and I can't have my gloves on. And it gets too hot on my bare fingers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, mine doesn't get that hot. It's just nice and warm. But in the winter, and it heats up really quickly.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you get in your car and those freezing cold winter, oh my gosh, I just love it. Anyway.
Yeah, I know my dad, when he was able to drive a little bit more than he is now, he loved it. He'd be like, oh, my hands are toasty.
I know. I love it, too. I'm with him. I thought it was a really ridiculous add-on. I thought, boy, we're running out of stuff to put into cars these days. But I really like it.
I don't.
Yeah, well, I guess,
I mean, if it's super
that's why
cold.
There's chocolate and vanilla, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it's super cold and I keep my gloves on, I'm fine with it. But it's just, I can't have it on my bare hands.
Okay, all right. Well, before we get going, a couple of things. We're going to have some guests this week. Rick Wilson's going to be here to talk about American Legion tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to have Craig Otto from the Silver Sage Rodeo. And he's going to be bringing a couple of cowboys. I don't know exactly who's going to be in town. And I found out yesterday that Katie Johnson from Lake Region Healthcare will be along, and they have a connection to the rodeo as well.
Okay.
So Katie's going to join us, and we'll have a full house here on Thursday, but that'll be fun. You might not be able to see everybody on camera, but we'll pass around the microphones the best we can, depending on how many show up. We'll see. But anyway, looking forward to those two guests.
I would just want to give a quick shout out to my oldest, Isaac, and his buddy Luke, knocking out the rest of the tree that fell on the pontoon last night. I was thinking we were going to be out there for hours, and so I didn't get out of here till about 5. By the time we got home, changed, and on the road, it was about 5:30. They got there about 5:30. We got to the lake about 6, and they were done.
Oh, my gosh. Isn't that nice?
They had everything cut up and loaded before we got there. And I thought we'd be
That's-
there for hours.
Yeah, boy, that's kind of like I hired my two grandsons have a lawn care business.
Yep.
And they've gotten out into doing some landscaping. I mean, they have hauled bales, they've cleaned shores. I mean, they do a little bit of everything. But so I hired them to do some landscaping, to rip out a bunch of old perennials that were just super overgrown. And so I took a before picture, and then I took another picture after they ripped everything out. I could not believe the transformation. And then they came and laid the landscaping, that fabric down.
Yep.
And then I went yesterday, and I had gotten some plants for there, so I started planting. And as I'm planting, I'm thinking, why on earth am I down on my knees when I got these two guys that do such a
Exactly.
beautiful job? And anyway, the transformation is amazing. I think it will be done today. And I think, what in the world am I doing any of that for when these guys are so good at it?
I started to feel old. It's like I remember when I was 23 and I could do stuff like that.
I know.
I'm 47. On Sunday I turned 48, and
Oh,
so
well, happy almost birthday.
yeah. So it's just like one of those things where, oh wait, no, I'm wrong. I'm 48. I'm going to be turning 49.
Oh, my goodness.
I forgot how old I was.
Yeah, well, that happens, you know.
My wife uses the phrase, has used the phrase for a while, you're darn near 50, but now I'm actually darn near 50, so.
Yeah, you're getting there. Well, anyway, yeah, I decided, well, that is dumb. I'm not doing that again, because boy, do I feel it today
Yeah.
from crawling around on my knees and digging. And yeah, I don't know why in the world. I thought it would be fun to plant plants. Turns out it wasn't fun at all.
No.
And I don't know why I didn't just have the boys do the whole works. But boy, what a transformation when they took all that stuff out of there. And oh my goodness, I was so excited. So yeah, small victories, huge victory for me. And good to keep the boys in business, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, when I saw some of the other landscape projects that they had completed, I thought, well, those are the guys who are going to take care of this. And they just did a great job. So that was fun to see. I was going to ask you about this. Did you happen to see the Aaron Rodgers deal?
Oh, no.
When he was on the Pat McAfee show?
Oh, no.
No, it's good. I love it. Remember when during COVID, Fauci went after him?
Oh, yeah.
Because he didn't want the vaccination, and he was up against family and friends and everybody, and Fauci really went after him. Well, oh my goodness, did
went after
Aaron
Fauci?
Rodgers get him back? So he was on the
McAfee show.
on the Pat McAfee show, and it was from Steelers training camp in Pennsylvania. So they had a bunch of the team there, and McAfee asked Rodgers how he viewed his year versus years past as he entered what he described as his final NFL season. Well, that's all it took. And he replied by taking aim at Fauci and obliterated him over the recent release of Fauci's diary that he wrote on federal servers, he said, exposing him for lying about everything during COVID. McAfee said, "How do you view this year versus maybe the years of the past?" He said, "I'm going to plead the fifth." And everyone just hooted. They thought that was funny. Like that absolute coward, Tony Fauci. Absolute coward. And he said that many times. And then he went on to say, "Are you kidding me? You got a pardon and you pleaded 100 times over at the White House? What are you scared of, Tony? I thought you were the science. I thought you were, I am science. And you get up there and you can't answer a single question. What are you doing?" And how much time did the network spend with that? How much time did they spend on my responses every week, on my vaccination status, on Taylor and Travis's wedding? Did they even do a minute on Tony Fauci? Nah, I bet they didn't. And he goes on and on. Anyway, so what do you want to say to me now? And and every time they asked him a question, he just went back over and back at Fauci and called them every name in the book. And you know what? And I think he had every right to do that.
Yes.
They treated him very poorly during all of that, based on him not deciding not to have the vaccination, and man, they went after him hard, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought you would get a bang out of that. I know once in a while he says some goofy things, and you have to go, what did he say now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I was thinking. He was going to say something weird.
nope. He and they all kind of sat there and just kind of looked at him because he just kept on, and then a lot of people were cheering him on
Yeah.
and stuff. You can go and watch it. It's pretty good. But
my-
like they went after him, so
Yep.
he thought, oh, fair game.
My favorite Fauci question is, can you tell me the color of the carpet?
Yeah. Or the color
advice
of your tie.
Yeah. The unadvised of counsel, I will take my Fifth Amendment right. to
Oh
stay
my
quiet.
goodness. Yeah. So I don't know where that's going to go, but boy, he's sure taken it since he was in the hot seat. I'm not so sure. I can't tell. Was it a hot seat for him? Was it?
Rogers, yeah.
Oh no, but I mean Fauci during that whole thing.
No, he knows they
It
can't do a
had to-
darn. They can't do a darn thing to him, and he's like, this'll blow over. I mean, quite honestly, I hope this blows up his legacy. He will always be remembered as a fraud.
I think that's already done. I think he made such a fool of himself in that diary. I don't know why a grown man is keeping a diary, and I don't know how that came out even. But
I mean, that diary should be on every news outlet, every newspaper should be
Yes.
publishing it.
Yep, absolutely. I'm surprised others haven't. This came from, there is a Facebook page called DC Swamp, and this was written on there, and I think this says a lot, and I think Republicans ought to listen hard and do something. It says this. This is the hard truth no one wants to say out loud. Republicans keep treating this like a normal political fight, while Democrats treat it like war. They're all in, coordinated, and ruthless. Meanwhile, too many on the Republican side still play by the old rules, stay quiet, or wait for someone else to carry the load. President Trump cannot do this alone. He never should have to. The country is not going to save itself if Republicans don't start matching the intensity, the seriousness, and the urgency of the other side. We lose, not maybe later, but now.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good advice. Can't sit back and be, I don't even know if there's such a thing as Minnesota nice anymore. But
Outstate.
outstate Minnesota nice. Maybe
Yes.
that's what we need to call it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. As I talked about yesterday, I think there's such an intensity, especially among young voters, young Democrat and socialist voters, that they're energized.
Yeah.
And they're going after it. So if you belong to the other side, I don't know. I think we got to start shaking things up. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Well, despite President Trump's comments about upcoming talks with Iran, U.S. officials said no new negotiations actually are planned. Instead, Iran is negotiating with Oman about ensuring safe shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump, however, insists a deal is imminent, claiming any agreement would involve opening the strait and addressing Iran's nuclear capabilities. So, the saga goes on,
Continues.
yeah. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is on track now for confirmation. He had to rescind a $1.8 billion fund for Trump allies, and however, a controversial audit immunity deal for Trump's family remains. This immunity, part of a settlement for Trump's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS, limits scrutiny of past tax filings, but not future ones. The deal could erase over $100 million in back taxes.
Oh.
So they do, so Todd Blanche, he had to, I think, put on paper and sign that, yep, I'll rescind that, we'll back out of that, and then go ahead and, push this nomination through. In Spokane, Washington, cooler weather may aid firefighters battling 3 major wildfires that have ravaged over 7,000 acres. These fires have destroyed approximately 700 structures, forced about 65,000 residents to evacuate. The fire's cause remains unknown, but high winds and dry conditions have intensified them. Firefighters are still working to contain those blazes, and I don't know if you saw any of the footage over the weekend from that, but boy, some terrible stuff in Washington State.
This afternoon I'm going to reach out to one of our former colleagues that works out in Spokane, McLovin.
Yes.
He's out in Spokane right now, so
Yeah, we'll
check
have
in
to
with
try
Steve.
to get him on the air and find out what's going on out there. So, I just hate to see that. So they did cooler weather. Of course, they need a little bit of rain. And speaking of rain, we got some last night.
Yes, we did.
I don't know what we got here. Got about a half an inch on the north side of Lake Lida. So I did dump it out this morning just to see what it looked like, because it was a nice rain and it rained for a fair amount of time. So about a half an inch, not a lot, but heck, better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I was hopeful that we got some rain in Fergus as well.
I know we got some rain,
Okay.
and I'm trying to remember where Brady has the button to bring up the weather.
Oh, that's
spotters.
okay. That's okay. As long as we know we got some much needed rain here. Probably not as much as we had wanted, but I'll take a half an inch over nothing, that's for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Remind me to talk about a rummage sale fundraiser that is coming up, and it is going to be to benefit the Children's Corner Learning Center. And somebody dropped off this poster and asked me to talk about that, so we'll do that when we come back on the second half of the show. Got all kinds of things for you on the second half, and so invite you to stay tuned. And then on Thursday, when we have the Cowboys in, we'll probably have some tickets we might want to give away too. So make
Nice.
sure you tune in for that portion of the show on Thursday. All right, now I'll take a break for some market information. We're back with more on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care, Fergus Falls Monument, and Larson Insurance, Fergus Falls. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Celebrate 40 years of investing in your good ideas with West Central Initiative. You're invited to a free family-friendly community celebration on Thursday, August 6th from 4 till 7 at West Central Initiative in Fergus Falls. Enjoy live entertainment, tacos from Fish Factor 108, free ice cream, activities for all ages, and much more. Hear a brief message as we celebrate the people, partnerships, and bold ideas that have shaped our region. Learn more at wcif.org.
Good news alert for all you audiophiles. Nielsen has revealed that radio for the second year in a row is America's #1 mass reach medium. And there's a good chance you didn't catch this message on a radio. Leighton Media owns 26 radio stations, and those stations are available where your audience is. Catch us on an app, your favorite smart speaker, or your morning commute in the car. We're here to connect you to entertainment and community. Connect with Leighton Media today. Our team is ready to work for you. Leighton Media, your success starts here. Introducing a new line of tires at Northwest Tire. Premium tires, premium service, and affordable pricing for your passenger vehicle or light truck. We're committed to delivering the quality, performance, and reliability you deserve, helping you drive with safety and confidence wherever the road takes you. Whether you're commuting across town or heading out on your next adventure, Northwest Tire provides dependable traction, comfort, and peace of mind. Northwest Tire's new premium tires, sold exclusively at Northwest Tire.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Well, congratulations. We all survived the trade deadline. Now we can focus on baseball. The Twins trying to get back to 500 tonight as they have a rematch with Randy Dobnak and the Kansas City Royals. It's Joe Ryan for the Twins. It's Randy Dobnak for the Royals. Join Glenn Perkins and me from Kauffman Stadium. 6 o'clock lineup card, 6:40 first pitch tonight on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
KBRFradio.com news. Get the news that matters delivered straight to your inbox. With KBRF Daily Headlines, you'll stay up to date on everything happening in your community. Sign up today and receive a roundup of the day's top stories all in one email. It's fast, convenient, and it's always free. From local updates to breaking news, KBRF brings you the headlines you need right at your fingertips. Visit KBRFradio.com and sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.
morning. I'm Jamie Dickerman with Market Update on the Red River Farm Network. Grain market stuck in a weather-driven pattern. AgMarket.net analyst Jacob Burke says the grain traders reacting to every new forecast, creating wide swings every day.
You're hearing a lot of different rain forecasts come across the guts of the corn belt that are just going to move the markets here. We saw some little bit better than expected rains. That they were spotty, but there were some better quantities that came across some of the drier areas, Nebraska. I know your area up there in the North Dakota is just still struggling to catch anything. I think some of the rains were probably disappointing up there in your area from guys I've talked to this morning. But inevitably, you got a fund community that put on a little bit more of a long position, corn and beans, over the last week, built off of the heat and the dryness, the concerns that we saw. You also have a lot of geopolitical stuff that still remains. You look at the wheat belt and you look at what's going on with the Ukraine-Russia deal.
Mixed market in the cattle.
Nothing has still changed dramatically yet as far as availability of cattle. You saw a placements number, the last cattle line feed report that says, hey, we're still in a position that's going to be tough to get through as far as cattle numbers go. You can't talk cattle and even the proteins without talking about the demand side of things and what we've seen with boxed beef. That's been a concern for the last 2 years, basically, year and a half, when we saw these beef prices continue to rise, and how much will we be able to push the consumer.
AgMarket.net's Jacob Burks. Reporting agriculture's business, this is the Red River Farm Network.
Expect more from your canola seed. Check out the Pioneer 100 Series Canola Plot Tours August 4th through the 7th. You'll get a first-hand look at the highest-yielding canola hybrids ever, built on the same elite innovation that made Pioneer #1 in corn and soybeans. Stops being made in Glen Allen, Deering, Langdon, and Enderlin, North Dakota, and Stephen, Minnesota. Enjoy free refreshments, talk management, and see the future of canola. Contact your local Pioneer sales representative and find your nearest stop today.
Farming isn't a job, it's a battle, a fight to grow stronger and get ahead. CHS Autumn Rewards Pro puts the power in your hands. Finance fertilizer, crop protection, seed, energy, and animal nutrition at rates as low as 0%. No wasted cash, just straight up savings for farmers. You're not here to waste time or money. You're here to win. Talk to your CHS representative today to lock in financing as low as 0%, or go to chsagronomy.com/rewards for more info.
On air and online, the Red River Farm Network is reporting agriculture's business. RRFN.com has news headlines, weather, and markets, all as close as your PC or smartphone. The Red River Farm Network also keeps you up to date on Facebook and our weekly e-newsletter, FarmNet News. Sign up today at RRFN.com. From the farm field to Capitol Hill, from the tractor cab to the coffee shop, the Red River Farm Network reporting agriculture's business.
Harvest Hotline brings you daily updates with farmers, custom harvesters, elevator managers, and more. Get the latest on harvest progress, yields, and what's happening in the field. Harvest Hotline can be heard weekdays at 12:37 during Agriculture Today. Harvest Hotline brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, Amity Technology, North Dakota Mill, and U.S. Custom Harvesters. We're the Red River Farm Network, reporting agriculture's business. Minneapolis wheat September is down 7 now at 688. We have December Chicago down 12 3/4, 656 1/2. KC September down 11 1/2, 705 3/4. Sep corn is down 5 1/2, 443 3/4. The Dees corn down 5 3/4, 466 3/4. August soybeans were down 16, 1152 3/4. November is down 17 3/4, 1174 3/4. August live cattle is down 47 1/2, 230.62. August feeders down 32 1/2, 347.50. Reporting agriculture's business, this is the Red River Farm Network.
What's the ox say?
Today
on Hot Talk with the Ox. Right away, here are plans for Fair Week in Benton County and the first PRC rodeo there this week, too. At 4:06, hear what wine Jeff has picked out on the West Side Liquor Wine Line. Then hear fellow Ox listeners' wines of the week. After that, the latest polling and such 1 week out from Minnesota's primary election. See you for Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on News Talk 1250 KBRF.
What's the ox say?
American Federal Bank offers straightforward banking with modern tools and real local support. Manage your money efficiently, get clear answers, and work with a bank that respects your time and priorities. American Federal Bank, member FDIC equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Emmeline Wall with Someplace Safe. Our annual virtual auction is underway now through August 7th, and there's something for everyone. Bid on fantastic items while supporting a great cause. Check out Virtual Auction Fundraiser for Someplace Safe on Facebook.
Well, congratulations. We all survived the trade deadline. Now we can focus on baseball. The Twins trying to get back to 500 tonight as they have a rematch with Randy Dobnak and the Kansas City Royals. It's Joe Ryan for the Twins. It's Randy Dobnak for the Royals. Join Glenn Perkins and me from Kauffman Stadium. 6 o'clock lineup guard, 6:40 first pitch tonight on your home for Twins baseball.
News Talk 1250 AM KBRF. Depend on it.
It's News Talk 1250 KBRF. Weather for today, gorgeous, sunny, 72, 79 tomorrow, 84 Thursday, 84 Friday, 83 on Saturday. Fair skies right now, currently sitting in at a kind of a nice chilly 59. A few clouds, winds on the northwest at 10. It's Morning Talk brought to you by our friends over at Pioneer Care, over at Fergus Falls Monument Company, and at Larson Insurance of Fergus Falls. And Mary, the shocker there, if I want to call it a shocker, is we're going to have WeFest and knock on wood, no storms.
I know, that is a shocker. Do you know what I heard on the radio this morning? I was kind of tuning around as I drove in because I knew it was WeFest, and I thought I might encounter some traffic on my way in.
Yeah, you come down 59.
Of course, I'll be going the other way,
Yep.
clearly. But so I was kind of tuning around because I figured there would be somebody talking about WeFest, and sure enough, there was. And here's what they said. Someone had just texted in and said that they had been in line since noon yesterday, and they were still 40th in line. How is that even possible?
I know the attendance is down huge.
Really?
I
Well,
mentioned Luke and Isaac at the top of the show. They're going to the Silver Sage Rodeo because they're not going to WeFest.
yeah.
They looked at the artists and they look at the cost and they're like,
Yeah,
no.
maybe not this year.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are going. In fact, I noticed I was in Detroit Lakes on Saturday. No, maybe it was Friday. And anyway, as I drove past the Sioux Pass Ranch, all of the where they have the VIP camping,
Yep.
it was jam full. And that was last Friday. So I don't know how early those VIPs can come in, but they come in early. And I saw some posts from a couple of people I know who were already on the grounds over the weekend, last weekend. So what, do you stay at the WeFest grounds for a week? Yuck.
No, thank you. I don't think I couldn't do 3 days.
No, I couldn't either. But
I need
anyway,
a shower daily.
I did hear about, and there were a couple of things. There were people that were like, they were partying in the ditch. They'd pull over and park their cars, and then they were partying in the ditch on 59.
That's a huge no-no.
Yeah, I know. And anyway, so I don't know why it takes so long for these people to get,
They'll get in line before they open it up. It's like, okay, here's the deal. You can start lining up here. We'll let you in here.
Okay, so they are just sitting on the road.
They're just sitting there, yeah.
Well, anyway, it seems very dangerous. And of course, if you're not going to WeFest, Detroit Lakes and Highway 59 from here to Detroit Lakes is something that you want to absolutely avoid. I know I always have trouble on Sunday morning after it's over because Saturday night it's done.
Yeah.
And then Sunday morning, everyone is headed home. Well, to try to get off our county road to pull onto 59 is almost impossible with all the people emptying out from WeFest. So that Sunday morning on my way to church, I always take an alternate route so I can avoid 59
I was going to say
altogether.
just stay in Fergus the night before.
Well, I could, but you know how I love to do that. I'd rather be at the lake. And there's plenty of ways to get back to Fergus Falls without going on 59. So, but sometimes you don't think about it, and I happened to think about it this morning, and I thought, boy, I wonder what I'm going to run into today.
Yeah.
But I really, honestly, I couldn't tell you that I even saw a camper today. So that's surprising. It's Tuesday. I would say that most people are going maybe Wednesday, but there were people that have been in line for now, coming up on 24 hours.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if those people, but the last I heard, they were still 40th in line. So
Well, it's because they didn't move.
I suppose because nobody's moving, because they haven't let anyone in.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh my goodness, what do you do? It's just sit in your car for 24 hours? That sounds
That's
awful.
what they do.
Oh, boy. Okay, this is something I didn't want to miss out. Somebody gave me this poster, asked me to draw some attention to it. It is the first annual rummage sale fundraiser, and it's going on August 7th and 8th, so this Friday and Saturday. And let's see. This is at the Grace United Methodist Church in Fergus Falls, and it is to benefit 100% of the proceeds donated will go to Children's Corner Learning Center.
Okay.
So you can shop the sale from 11 to 6:30 on Friday, and from 8 until 4 Saturday. And if you have donations, you can drop them off this Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday from 4 to 6 and Thursday from 11 till 2. So, but that rummage sale fundraiser, August 7th and 8th at the Grace United Methodist Church. And so all of those proceeds are going to benefit Children's Corner. So.
And let's remind everybody where Grace United is.
Grace United Methodist Church is over by the Y.
Okay.
So if that helps you.
It's Fergus. We've got several churches. I just want to
we've
make
got,
sure.
oh boy, that's for
narrow
sure.
that down.
Yeah, it's right.
Got a kitty corner.
You'll drive by it if you're on your way to the Y before you get to the roundabout. Yeah. Speaking of roundabouts and WeFest traffic, you know what made WeFest traffic a whole lot easier are those roundabouts in Pelican Rapids.
No more
and
stoplights.
Detroit Lakes. Well, I guess they don't get all the way to Detroit Lakes, but no more stops, because sometimes that could be backed up for miles on a red light. So I think that will help with some of the traffic. And again, if you're not going to WeFest, just try to avoid that.
Stay off
area.
59
Oh,
this
gosh.
week.
Yeah, or pack your patience and just drive really carefully. In fact, I heard somebody say this morning, this seems like it's not a very good plan for people to move in. Just sitting on Highway 59. And someone had made the comment, until something awful happens, they probably won't change it.
Yeah.
And I wish it wouldn't take something awful to happen.
Because this is what it's like every year.
It just doesn't work. I have never encountered that, but I know what week is WeFest week, and we just don't drive between the lake and Detroit Lakes that weekend.
I remember one year I totally forgot about WeFest, and me and a couple buddies were headed up to Monoman for the casino, and all of a sudden we hit the traffic, and it's like,
yep.
Oh,
I know. And once you're there, what do you do? I mean, you'd be better off turning around and just finding, driving extra miles to find an alternate route, because I'm sure glad I'm not law enforcement this weekend is all I can say. All right. Do you know what is back? You're not even going to believe this. MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw it. They're coming back and they're like, hey, we don't use algorithms. We don't use this. We don't use this. Come on back. We're the non-creepy dude.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, it kind of went away, but it was like one of the first social media platforms. So today we have Facebook. It started with MySpace. Don't you think it started with that?
Yeah.
Or was there...
I think MySpace was basically the first major one.
I think so, too. Well, anyway, owners Tim and Chris Vanderhook have confirmed plans to relaunch the once dominant social media platform more than 20 years after its debut. Speaking in a new documentary called simply MySpace, Tim stated, "We are going to relaunch MySpace. We're just waiting for the right time to do it." The brothers purchased the platform in 2011 and attempted a music-focused redesign, but it failed to regain any traction. Tim described the aftermath as just an onslaught of losses, citing advertiser cancellations in favor of Facebook, At its peak, MySpace was a cultural phenomenon, even helping launch Adele's career. I don't remember that. She told that to E! News back in 2008 when a friend uploaded her demo and it blew up on MySpace. No timeline for the relaunch has been announced. They're just kind of waiting for the right time.
Come to Facebook,
MySpace.
where we've got ads.
Yeah, oh
ads
boy.
And more ads.
And you know what? Facebook is not even Facebook anymore.
No.
It's either ads or influencers.
Yep. I want to see my friends, and I don't ever see my friends.
I know. I've just kind of, well, I was never a big Facebooker, but sure grew tired of it. That's for sure. Oh boy, how about this? Remember the Zac Brown Band?
Yep.
They made history Sunday night at Boston's Fenway Park. They gifted every concert goer a free cruise. You get a cruise, and you get a cruise.
You get norovirus. You get norovirus. Everybody gets the norovirus.
Yes. More than 37,000 fans attending the sold-out August 2nd show each received a complimentary Margaritaville at Sea cruise for two, totaling over $40 million in giveaways. I'm going to put Oprah to shame.
Yeah.
The announcement came just before the band performed their hit, Same Boat. He told the crowd, "Tonight we're going to do something that even Jimmy Buffett would say is crazy. I'm buying every single person here a cruise for two people on the boat. This is the biggest giveaway in history, ladies and gentlemen, right here tonight at Fenway Park. Fans have 12 months to claim their prize." Wow. Okay, so if you're at the Zac Brown concert and he gives you a cruise, do you take it?
Sadly, yes.
Would you? I don't know that I would.
I'd have to look into the details.
I guess it depends on, where it was going and how big the boat was, and am I down at the bottom of the boat, or do I get one of those cabins like on the side that I can look out?
Do I have a balcony?
Yeah, that's exactly what I would be asking.
Get a little fresh air?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. You could not put me in the bottom of the boat. I've seen
Titanic.
I've seen Titanic. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah. I would have to be able to see out. I have no desire to jump on a
I
cruise
have no
ship.
desire, but if it's free, I might think about it.
You might give it a spin. Who knows? Maybe I would too. It would just depend on where they're going and how many days they're going to be at sea, and I don't know. I'd rather get on a plane, go from point A to point B, get to the beach, stay there.
Oh,
until
check it
it's
out. We're
time
gonna
to go
check.
home.
We're gonna go to Jamaica. Yeah, I can fly to Jamaica too.
Yeah,
Spend all 10
exactly.
days there on the beach.
Exactly.
The grill. Oh.
Okay, so here is a guy from Minnesota who is not Minnesota nice at all. And he's going to have to appear in court next month after he installed a homemade spike strip on his lawn to stop neighborhood kids from going through his yard.
Well, that's a new approach.
They were cutting through his yard, and he didn't like it. So Kyle James Steffen, 39, of Wyoming, Minnesota, faces one gross misdemeanor charge carrying up to 180 days in jail or a $1,000 fine. Police responded in late April after a neighbor reported Steffen yelling at her kids. Officers discovered a thick plastic strip embedded with roughly 43-inch screws. Steffen admitted placing the device to keep kids off his lawn, claiming that he had repeatedly warned them. Maybe a fence would be better.
That's what I was thinking.
He told officers he wanted to scare, not injure anyone, but police noted he seemed frustrated the device was not effective. His first court appearance is scheduled for August 25th, so not a very nice neighbor.
No, but I mean, if if a neighbor is constantly saying, "Hey, please don't do this,"
right?
Stop it.
Yeah,
that's
true.
And
And
that falls on the
parents,
parents
watch
too.
your kids. Yeah, absolutely. But I would never go to that extreme.
No.
But we out at the lake know that kind of frustration because the place next door gets rented. And even the people who own it were famous for inviting all kinds of people, and they really have room to park 2 cars. But they would park 10, and most of them on our front yard. But we had so somebody had rented, this was a couple of weeks ago, and we'll give them a little grace. They're from Florida. They, were looking for a rental that they weren't familiar with. And I don't know how they did this. But anyway, it was late on a Friday night, or late enough so it was dark. We were in bed, and our bedroom windows face the road, face County Road 4. And all of a sudden, these bright lights, and I sat up in bed. 2 cars had driven right on our front yard and drove right up to the cabin. So the headlights are like right outside the window, on the grass, on the yard. And I don't know, I mean, how do you think that is parking? And it turned out to be people who were renting next door and, had the wrong cabin. I don't know. But regardless, even if you have the wrong cabin,
you don't do that.
Just drive on somebody's yard?
No.
And I mean, they drove right up to the house. If they would have taken another foot, they'd have driven right into the cabin. So we know their frustration, the frustration of always people behaving badly. And I guess you can't fix stupid. Not 1 car, but 2.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly there's a driveway here that has cars in it. Nobody else is parked on the front yard. But, I mean, who does that? So anyway, sometimes we have to put up little...
no parking.
Well, I could put a no parking sign. I just choose to take those little reflectors, and we just put about 3 of those across our property, and then I think that's a deterrent that says, please don't drive up to our bedroom window anymore. But it was a bit of a surprise, I'll tell you that. Oh gosh. Anyway, well, we will not make homemade spike strips, though. I will not take it that far, I promise. Okay, the 10th annual World Dog Surfing Championships. Have you seen dog surfing before?
Oh, yeah.
It drew hundreds of cheering spectators. This happened in California. Dogs of all sizes competed Saturday, judged on board time, wave size, and confidence. Alongside the surfing competition, the event featured a pet adoption fair and fundraising for local animal charities.
I like that.
I like that too. Dogs wore colorful life vests while human spotters helped guide boards toward the best waves. The event also included tandem contests featuring multiple dogs and human and dog pairings. Among the competitors was Rusty, a miniature pinscher owned by Sophia Sadowski of Huntington Beach. Sadowski said Rusty first surfed as a puppy, and she just couldn't get him off the board. He didn't want to stop. He was 4 months old, and he took 3rd place, so we've been surfing ever since, and he is hooked.
Every time I think surfing in Huntington Beach, we were at Huntington Beach a few years back, and we were out on the Huntington Beach Pier, and the people do a lot of fishing off the pier, which
sure.
I find interesting because you've got to haul the fish up, the height of the pier. And it said, please do not fish for white sharks. It's like, yeah.
No problem.
And then all of a sudden I look down, there's like 50 people waiting for surfing or for a wave. There's surfers in the water because they had the World Surfing Championships the next week. So they're working on the stage, everybody's practicing, and I'm like, they're chumming for sharks.
Yep, they sure are. We saw it the last 2 times we've been in Florida. We've watched people catch sharks right on the beach, and they're those, I don't know how long is that.
Yeah, about 4 feet.
Yeah, hammerheads. I mean.
Wow, they put hammerheads. Wow.
Yeah, and it's pretty exciting because it's quite a fight when they catch them.
Yeah.
And then everybody on the beach comes running to see, what they caught. But a couple of times we've seen 2 hammerheads be caught. So.
I may have seen 2 sharks, but for sure one. It was between waves. We're down in Palm Springs because it was too cold at Cocoa Beach. So because it was January, so we went down to Palm Springs.
Drive south.
And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, in between the waves, I see a shark just kind of fall out and then get back in, and then I'm like, nope, we're done.
Okay, no more swimming.
And then we were in Destin, Florida, where the water is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just perfect turquoise. And we were on one of the public beaches, and all of a sudden I see this shadow just move through one of the breakers. So it's coming through, and then the shark was that. I looked at the guy next to me. He looked at me and goes, "You see that?" I'm like, "Yep." He goes, "You see that?" I go, "Yep." And all of a sudden it's like, "Okay, let's go."
Okay, everybody out of the water.
Go on.
Oh boy. Well, I just thought I would tell you today is Hooray for Kids Day. It is National White Wine Day, so you can tip a glass of white later today. It's also National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Okay, I already had a monster cookie this morning. Does that count? Let's see. Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, it's her birthday today, to which we say, who cares? Billy Bob Thornton celebrates a birthday. Jeff Gordon, NASCAR driver, or former maybe. I don't think he drives anymore, right? He's retired probably.
He's retired. I wonder if he is dead.
Jeff Gordon? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. We lost a couple major NASCAR people.
Yeah. I don't think he's one, but I certainly don't know. Roger Clemens, Cy Young Award winner.
And father to the current Clemens on the Minnesota Twins team.
How about that? He is 64 today. So, yeah, send your birthday cards. Billy Bob Thornton, let's see, he's 71.
Jeff Gordon's 55 and still alive.
Okay, all right, that's good. Every once in a while, don't you have to think,
Well, I know there was a couple NASCAR superstars that have passed on in the last couple years, and so.
On this date in 1956, Elvis releases Hound Dog.
Ain't no but a hound dog.
Yeah. Prince's album Purple Rain goes to #1 and stays there for 24 weeks in 1984. In 2007, Elvis Presley Enterprises announced plans to revamp Graceland, the singer's home, with a visitor center, convention hotel, and high-tech multimedia displays. And this one, you might remember, in 2015, Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog announced the end of their relationship on Twitter. I missed that breakup. Boy.
And Kermit the Frog on the next weekend had pork chops.
Oh, gosh. Coming up on 10 o'clock, that is going to wrap it up. Thank you for joining us. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care, by Fergus Monument Company, and by Larson Insurance. Have a great day.